COhatch is stepping outside of the Midwest, and we're heading to the Sunshine State. We're coming in with a bang, too, with plans to launch 4 locations in 4 different cities by the end of 2022. Follow along with us as we document this ambitious new expansion and see how COhatch takes on a Florida flair.
One of the things I love the most about being a part of this design process with this amazing team is the attention that they give to the place where we're building. I mean, it's moving actually to think, especially if you're from that place, you're from that neighborhood, and to hear these designers from out of state care so deeply about that place, to try to understand its history, the nuances of its culture, the richness of its story, and then to find a way, not overtly to just put the local high school mascot on the wall or something, but to sort of subtly pay homage to those elements, to those pieces. It's just meaningful in a way it's hard to describe, because maybe people will notice it, maybe people won't. But there's something about it that will feel, if it works, will feel familiar and will feel maybe a little bit like home.
I am Angela Stiftar, and I'm a graphic designer.
And I'm Sarah Vick. I'm an environments designer.
We both work for Brightstone Creative, which is an internal COhatch design team focusing on the expansion of COhatch outside of Columbus, Ohio. So our main goal when designing a COhatch is making sure that not all COhatches are the same. We try to create unique representations of the COhatch brand in each and every location. And even though when you walk in the door you won't be able to pinpoint why, something should feel familiar when you walk in the door and should feel welcoming in every site that you go to.
So some of the places we look for inspiration are, quite honestly, the internet. We take a deep dive and we look for stories that are something that a tourist wouldn't be able to just find. If they visited there a couple months ago or even a year ago, the stories that we're telling aren't going to be ones that are easily accessible to an outside visitor. We're looking for stories that really target people who've been living in the neighborhood for years, perhaps their whole lifetime, and know these stories like the back of their hand.
We've also had some really good conversations with local historians and landlords, and we focus and rely a lot on our really great market leaders to help us understand what stories and what ways that we can connect best with the community. So it's hard to choose what our favorite graphics or different stories are in the spaces, but I think one of my favorite was a phone room in St. Pete that I drew flamingos to pay homage to both the living and the plastic flamingos in Florida. Fun fact, there's actually more plastic flamingos than living ones in Florida right now, but we even honored the designer of the 1950s plastic lawn ornament, Don Featherstone, by naming the phone room that.
And we don't always use graphics to necessarily bring these local stories to life. One way to kind of honor the building that we're from is to use artifacts that kind of came with the building when COhatch inherited it. A great example of that is the West Tampa location actually used to be a nightclub. So we found a whole slew of interesting artifacts, one of which we chose to save was a disco ball, because what says nightclub better than a disco ball? So that's actually hanging over the printer, and you can have a little mini dance party while you wait for your prints to come out. So when people walk through a COhatch, we want them to feel like this is a really great place to work.
The members are the most important part, so making sure that they love where they work and showing people that they're proud of it is really, really cool.